What is good, everybody? My Paper Moon fam. It's your boy, PaperSin, aka the Hokage of the village. Hitting that loud, you feel me? And I've been waiting to react to this video. Don't ask me why it took so long. Just don't. But anyway, female gooners must be stopped. Dun dun dun. Yes, this video comes by the one, the only Shoe0nHead. So as always, links to her channel and links to her video will both be in the description below. Because as she has stated in the past, for those of you who may still be confused, she is indeed a woman. I don't know why I don't know why there's a confusion there. I guess some people randomly thought she was a dude. No, she's just randomly just natural born woman. But anyway, before we get into the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your boy is trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And yeah, let's get into it. As always, links to Shoe's video will be in the description below, and link to her channel will also be in the description below. Be sure to check her out.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Hi.
What am I reading, you ask? Well,
What are you reading?
just one of the best-selling books on Amazon right now. With millions of sales and almost 20,000 5-star reviews,
Okay.
this book has been absolutely blowing up, especially on TikTok, or Book Talk, as the kids call it.
Okay.
Thousands and thousands of women, in particular, have been raving about this piece of literature. What piece of literature is it, you may ask?
What piece
Well,
of literature is it?
Morning Glory Milking Farm, of course.
I'm sorry, what? Morning Glory Milking Farm? So women are gooning to bestiality now? Look, it's literally a bull and a human chick. So first, women were gooning to vampires, Twilight. Then they were also gooning to werewolves. So I guess I'm not surprised that they would also goon to a beast man, a bull. But holy shit, women are willing to goon to anything, aren't they? Like I know that men have their own little group of not just furries, but dudes that are like into animals. There's that. I know there's that. But I did not expect women to be so into it that they started writing fan fiction of it. And like books that are being sold on Amazon. Okay. Yep. I am now entirely convinced that women are far more sexualized than men. Like they're far more horny than men.
A popular romance novel about a young woman down on her luck who does what every young woman does when facing financial struggle. She starts an OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. She wouldn't degrade herself like that. She gets a job jerking off monsters.
That's right, the Morning Glory Milking Farm.
I have been reading Morning Glory Milking.
Bro, look at all the women so far. Look at all the women. That seems to be it seems to be a certain type of woman who loves to watch or to read this type of book. Even got her hand in the Ritz box. Put the snacks down. Go for a walk.
Farm since last night, and I'm obsessed.
This was a good time. It did not disappoint.
If this book
Okay,
is trash,
they're
then
not
I
all
am a fucking
big
raccoon.
backs.
Give me all of the garbage.
Get your eyeballs on this because it is so good.
The female gooner epidemic.
I regret
Oh,
to
what the
inform you
fuck?
that there is a new epidemic. An epidemic that many have yet to discuss. And that epidemic is female gooners.
Oh god.
Now, for those of you unaware, gooner
Wow. Okay, now I am super convinced that women are far more horny than men. They just don't act on it.
is internet slang for someone addicted to porn. And smut is slang
It's
for
slang.
dark romance novels,
It's a type
otherwise
of
known as
porn.
porn. Many correct about the dangers of porn addiction with men, how it can destroy their lives and their relationships.
No one
and most
talks about
men
the
know
dangers
the
with
material
women.
they consume is weird. That is why they are ashamed of it. That is why they delete their browser history. That is why they go
That is why an anime, like, there's an anime called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. When the main character, when he was dying in order to get reincarnated as a slime, and he was dying, he looked up to his friend and said, delete my browser history. Like, bro, men are ashamed of what they goon to. But women, it seems like they are highly proud to be gooners. Okay. Now let's continue.
Incognito mode. But these bitches freaks out here. They display their smut openly in bookstores.
No way.
They proudly pose in front of their smut collections. They discuss their smut openly on TikTok. They go to smut conventions.
What the fuck is that? Okay.
Choked out by 9-foot-tall shirtless Wendigos. Now, I know what you are thinking. Shoe, isn't this the pot calling the kettle degenerate? Yes. Yes, it is. But have you considered
She's a degenerate
it
too, I
takes
guess.
one to truly know one?
Fair
You see,
enough.
women are strange, fascinating creatures. For
glasses.
centuries, men have tried to figure us out. Our mood is affected by the tides and the moon. We bleed for 5 days and don't die. By painting my face, I can instantly shapeshift from a 4 to a 6. We are
Bro, I've seen makeup quote unquote, or makeup catfish thingies where like old ass women that look like they're in their 50s, 60s, or whatever, put on some makeup and now they look like they're in their 20s and the face looks attractive. And then, like, have you seen it, like, when they take the makeup off? This is why men are like, when you get in, this is like when men are highly concerned that sometimes they don't wake up next to who they went to sleep with.
We are truly mysterious, magical creatures. But one of the most mysterious aspects of women to men is our sexuality. You see, us women are not like those disgusting moids. No, we are sophisticated. We are evolved. We don't watch videos of strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. No, we read about strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. It's different, okay?
And not just strangers, but apparently animals, vampires, werewolves, bulls, fucking, I'm pretty sure there's something of a flower that women read smut to, like a flower comes to life and grows a shaft that pleases a woman. I bet there's something out there similar to that women goon to. I wouldn't be surprised.
You don't understand. It's okay when we do it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rapidly growing popularity of dark romance on TikTok and the recent dark romance convention that ended in disaster. Let's take a break from all this depressing political news and talk about something silly.
Real quick, I'm not surprised that a dark romance, as she puts it, convention would end in disaster. I'm not surprised that it would end in disaster. It probably ended in a worse disaster than in most Twitch cons. I wouldn't be surprised. Especially the recent Twitch con where Emiru got SA'd by a random dude who hasn't really, so far we haven't really heard that they faced much punishment. I think we've heard that at first they were banned for like 30 days off Twitch. Like, that's it. But anyway.
That those political things aren't important, trust me, they are. You should be keeping up with politics and the news when you can. I know it can be difficult to do, but fear not. I have an app for that. So before we get into this video, let's quickly give a shout out to our sponsor, Ground News. Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers an easy way to read news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center.
I like that she did a good segue into the ad. I'm gonna let it play. I like it.
Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of political bias that helps you understand the full story and makes sure you're getting both sides.
Okay.
One of my favorite features on Ground News is the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by one side of the political aisle and ignored by the other.
Remember, not all people that are in politics are bi-political. Like some people will only look at the right side or what the other side has to say, and then completely ignore what the other side has to say, and they'll just be like, it's like an echo chamber. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being open to seeing what's coming in from both sides, they're like, I'm only going to listen to this side and judge everything based off what they say from their perspective, because it's totally not skewed to make the other side sound bad. That's why, in my opinion, politics is just it's politics in general is just a great. It's a reality TV show. That's it. It's just a reality TV show.
For example, here's a story about how Gavin Newsom is signing a bill to give 800,000 Uber and Lyft drivers in California the right to unionize. Pretty cool. Rare Newsom W. 12 news sources covered this, 7 were left-wing and 0 were right-wing, because the right is covering a far more important topic. Like? Harvard hires drag performer Lahore Vagistan as a visiting professor.
Okay, that is concerning, because why would you want to hire someone with that name? It's Harvard. Harvard? Are you serious? One of the most prestigious schools is hiring someone named Lahore Vagistan? That's concerning, but it's not as concerning as the other things, I guess. I don't know.
21 news sources covered this. 20 were right-wing.
Holy shit, seriously?
1 was left-wing. A country divided, truly.
Wow.
Ground News also makes it very easy to compare headlines, so you could see how political bias completely reframes a story. Okay. For example, talking about how Trump has been posting a bunch of those sombrero memes, and the New York Post says, White House official behind Trump's hilarious meme war on Dems revealed. And then a left-wing outlet covers the same story, like, as the shutdown continues, a checked-out Trump posts childish memes. Wildly different vibes going on here. I've been using Ground News since 2021. It is one of my favorite apps. Like, it is my go-to, like, when I wake up. I, like, check Twitter, and then I check Ground News, like, immediately. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview.
That's if you want to avoid echo chambers. A lot of people, in my opinion, are completely satisfied in being within their echo chamber, and they don't want to. Not only do they not want to be taken out of their echo chamber, but they would probably try to harm you if you try to show them information from outside of their echo chamber. It's kind of scary.
Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all their amazing features. And it's only $5 a month, which is like basically the price of a coffee nowadays. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code here on screen, or use the link in the video description. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
I didn't skip the ad, don't worry, Shoe.
So let's get back.
I appreciate the effort you put into segueing into the ad. So just for that, I didn't skip it. Loved it. Good job, Shoe. Good job.
To the video. Book Talk is a very interesting place, and any book fans out there know how it has absolutely destroyed the hobby of literature and just flooded it with absolute slop. Spicy slop. You see, books on TikTok are not rated by how well they are written or how good the characters are. No, they are rated by the spice. And what does spice mean?
The smut.
Porn. It means porn. Spice level is very important to Book Talk.
Wait, so if spice level is very important to Book Talk, that means this milk of magnesia, no, not milk, whatever this milk book is with the bull and the chick on the cover, that must mean it has a high level of spice or porn. Wow. So women are really, really just straight gooning to this. And the girl I'm talking to right now, she loves reading books. I don't know if she's reading this one or if she would read it. But now I feel like I should check her collection. Because I don't know, bro. I'm concerned.
How much spice does a book have? What are the spiciest books they have ever read? How spicy is the book they're currently reading? Spice, spice, spice. The spiciest book going viral on Book Talk lately is none other than Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt. Oh my god! She's just like me! On the verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in the neighboring Cambric Creek. She has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef. With the manly, meaty endowments to... Okay.
Morning Glory milk.
With the manly, meaty endowments to match, milking minotaurs isn't something Violet ever considered as a career option. But she's determined to turn the opportunity into a reversal of fortune. This is what women are into reading. I like how they always act all high. Not all of them and not always, but a lot of them act all high and mighty all the time. When behind the scenes, this is what the kind of thing they're into.
With the manly, meaty endowments to... Okay.
Morning Glory Milking Farm is actually a profound critique of late-stage capitalism and toxic masculinity.
And of course, you gotta bring toxic masculinity in it. Somehow, some way, you've gotta find a way to bring buzzwords like toxic masculinity into it. Bitch, it's smut. A girl is milking and probably having sex with minotaurs. That's what it is. Don't try to turn this into some... This is why it's okay to read it. It's about late stage, it's about capitalism and toxic masculinity. Shut the fuck up. Like, shut your bitch ass up. We know why you're reading it. You don't have to try and give it some dedicated, sound smart, good reason to read it when we know you're sitting there on your couch with your vibrator in hand reading this shit. Shut the fuck up.
In this text, we see that the tingling sensation in her coochie is actually the tingling sensation of a Marxist revolution.
Oh my god. No, bitch, it's just tingling sensation in her coochie. She's just a whore for minotaurs. That's it.
This is every fucking breadtube video to me, dude. This is every Jack Saint video. So I actually read the book myself, and
oh god,
I'm not gonna lie, the 19th Amendment needs to be abolished. So, like I said, the story.
What's the 19th Amendment again? Let me just real quick. Let me just double check on that. Women the right to... The power to vote for what happens next in our country is left to those who are lovers of reading smut. Not just left to them, but they have the ability to.
Story is basically this millennial named Violet, and she gets a job basically working at Big Pharma in Narnia, where they harvest minotaur milk to make Viagra for human males.
What the fuck?
And I read the whole thing. Probably.
Bro, if that was how Viagra was made, how many men do you think would still take Viagra, knowing that they're pretty much just partaking in minotaur sperm? Well, that's nasty as fuck.
I'm gonna be put on some kind of watch list. But listen, this is my job, okay? I'm not out here like selling feet pics or something. What I do is far more dignified and normal. Now, let's take a look at some of these notes I wrote. Let's see. Big dick and balls. At one point, she says the term, and I quote,
yeah, I get your reading glasses on. I got you.
the seam of his sack. So I'm reading this and the whole time I'm thinking like, okay, he probably has like a human head, right? He probably like looks something like this, like, you know, just a dude with like horns. Then I see the official artwork.
Dope.
That's a cow. Bro is a cow. Bro.
Furry. Women are into furries. All women, in my opinion now, all women are now into furries. If a woman reads smut, I'm going to assume she's into furries. That's it. Oh, so you like furries. You're one of those.
Bro is a straight up cow. In a few parts, they're being intimate, and it will be like, his hooves clip-clopped. My hooves will tear up your sheets. And it's like, I'm sorry, his what? At one point, she describes kissing him. And I swear to God, it was more disgusting than anything else described in this book. She's like describing how big and wide his mouth is and how big and like slimy his tongue is. She's like describing.
I don't know if I can finish this video. Describing the
shit and you're just like,
for 9 minutes
that's a cow. I mean, we are at a solid 5.5 on the Barbeau scale here. This is dangerous territory, folks.
These characters
also 0.5 on the Barbeau.
These characters are not human, do not look like human, and have few humanoid features. Bitch is straight up fucking a cow. That's it. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of, especially farm women on farmlands, I wouldn't be surprised if they start looking at, you know, the male cows, the bulls in their pens or whatever, a little bit differently after reading that. You know what I'm saying? They might start walking around naked around the bull, you know what I'm saying? Trying to, you know, pique its interest, bro.
Barbeau scale here. This is dangerous territory, folks. She also
the sigh.
F***ers his ass. Ugh. She f***ers the cow's ass. Ugh. By the way, if you want an uncensored version of this video and all my videos, Patreon. Go to Patreon, become a member. All members get the uncensored version of every video, so you can hear me talking about s***ing and f***ing and f***ing a cow's ass. Is that what you freaks want?
Not really. But did the cow give consent for you to do that to it? That's nasty.
Anyway, I like how in this fantasy world, student loans still exist. Like, we can imagine a world with minotaurs and humans in a relationship, but we can't imagine a world without student loans. Sad. Oh, and he has one of those bull rings, like the nose ring theory septum rings. Yeah. And in this world, that means, like, you're married, but apparently he's divorced. The man is divorced. This is a divorced cow with a cow ex-wife. The lore is deep, folks. The funniest...
The cow has a cow ex-wife, and he decided to move on to humans. Because once you go cow, you'll always bow to you always bow to the moo of the frow? I thought that was a frow. Whatever.
This part, though, has to be when they go on a date. I need to just read this to you. When the bill arrived, she attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening. Put that away. She'd not thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing that in mortification that she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you? She asked herself. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for her half, including her coffee date with Carson Tinsley. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips smoothed and tucked into her wristlet. But I didn't even offer to pay half the other night and shouldn't have Violet, if the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her. The heat of his hand dropping to her knee would've. I don't want you to feel that you don't have any agency here. I might be the one giving all the orders, but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is the only thing that counts right now. And if I overstep, I want you to know you can tell me so. But that's not happening. Don't think I'm unaware we're at different points in our careers. You can say no, you can say you don't want to see me again, you can tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's dinner, not a down payment of your time, but I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story.
Okay. Yep. Society is cooked. Let me get this right. Women are willing to listen to take orders from their boss before they take orders from their man. And they're also now willing to take orders from a minotaur before taking orders from their man. Send the nukes. Whoever's got them, send them. Just drop it. I think we're done here. Pretty sure we're heading in the wrong direction of society, of history, whatever. Bruh.
She was a good feminist, she told herself, and she definitely couldn't be bought. But if he had suggested at that moment that he would have appreciated a blowjob, she would have fallen face first on his cock with an open mouth without a shred of hesitation.
What the
Inside
fuck?
every woman, there are two wolves. Or two bowls. The strong, independent girl boss and the submissive, doting housewife. And in the presence of a masculine man, or a farm animal, she will fold like a lawn chair and instantly return to factory settings.
It's dinner, not a down payment for your time.
Bruh. What is happening to our society?
But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone, so when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. I said, okay, I highlighted that paragraph for myself.
Clean up aisle 5. So
Right?
that's what I thought of it. But what did other people think of it? What are the reviews on this book? This book has a 4.1 on Amazon
You gotta be
with
kidding me.
21,000 ratings.
Be careful. Get ready, everybody. There's gonna be a movie. There's probably gonna be a movie. It's like Twilight.
And a 3.6 on Goodreads with nearly 60,000 ratings. Let's just read some random ones here. Hear me out. A milking good time. Sweet and creamy. The spice is spicing. I was very leery of starting this because I thought it was just gonna be porn. The plot is pretty good.
The plot? It's a farm girl that has sex with with the animals in the farm. Like, it sounds like she's bad at her job. That's all. That's what it sounds like to me. Like, I don't think you're supposed to be dating not the employees, but like the animals that you're supposed to be working on. Whatever.
Plot? Please. This is like the new, I read Playboy for the articles, like, sure you do. This book could kill a Victorian child. 5 stars.
What?
I'll never look at a jug of milk the same. I think
What
I'm
the
lactose
fuck?
intolerant now. So that happened. Our eyes will never see the gates of heaven. 1 star. Not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food for the winter. 1 star. Accidentally ordered while on pain medication after an operation. Gave this to my mom as a joke gift for Christmas. You what? Lesai. Why can't human males be more like this? Tall, rich, and
What the
handsome are
fuck?
no longer enough, boys. Now you have to be a 9-foot-tall creature from Greek mythology with a 13-inch dick. I never want to hear from another
that's
person
true.
about how they read 100 books in a year if this is the kind of slop they are consuming.
Facts.
Well, Ronald, man detected, this isn't for you. This is for women. So take your ass back to Barely Legal Babysitter 5 or whatever the f you watch that is
Ew.
so morally superior than this. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone, okay?
Little did Shoe know, Ronald is a virgin.
God bless America. It's great to live in a country where I can casually enjoy cozy erotica about a young woman who milks her way to financial security and true love with a minotaur. This is what freedom looks like, and I intend to fully enjoy it before the Supreme Court takes this right away next.
That sounds like someone who is going to go to Barnes or whatever in search of bulls. This right here, whoever wrote this, is someone who wants to express their freedom of love by having sex with animals. They are fully dedicated to that after reading this book. That is the type of person who wrote that review. Hide your cows, hide your chickens, roosters, farm animals.
If this is what freedom looks like,
Take it
I'm
away.
really rethinking my stance on freedom, not gonna lie. Maybe we should have less of it. All I know is if Donald Trump takes the monster porn, we are going to make 2020 look like a picnic.
Oh,
okay?
God.
Bullcock matters. Oh my god. Edit that out. Editor, edit that out.
They didn't edit it out.
Women are
No.
gonna be picking up Animal Farm now, like, where's the horse cock? TikTok. Some of you people owe a certain streamer an apology because this book has way too many 5 stars. Some of you are lying. So after buying this book, Amazon has given me a few interesting recommendations. Would you like to see them?
Not really.
I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling the beast. Cupcakes for my orc enemy. Mane of my existence. The gargoyle and the spinster. The widow and the orcs. Hoarded by the dragon. There's something about dragon.
Alright, now we're getting... Okay, it was okay when Shrek did it because it was a donkey and a dragon. Like, we were just like, oh, that's funny. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. Haha, hee hee, haha. But now women are imagining themselves with the dragon. We're cooked. Yo, the society's a cook, bro. I'm going out of country. I'm going to the Philippines. I'm going to the Philippines.
Dragons. Getting it on with gargoyles.
Oh my
Gotten by the gator. Mated to the mountain bear. Oh, so this is why they chose the bear.
That's why they chose the bear.
The billionaire orc. Moth
my God.
manager.
Are you serious?
Wolves and whipped cream. The wolf in my tavern. Pounded by produce. What?
Oh my God.
Are these the books the Nazis burned?
My husband only reads finance
probably.
and sci-fi books, and so I think it's about time that I introduce him to some real literature. So
You can't say that your husband reads finance and literature books or whatever, and then say, I'm going to introduce him to real literature, which is the smut that you jerk off to. That's not, no, you can't. Everything she just said in that sentence should be illegal to say in one sentence to go at a time. You can't say that real literature is not him trying to level up himself by reading finance and all this other stuff. That's actually useful for him, but instead introducing him to bestiality smut. You can't say that's real literature. You can't. That should be illegal to say it's real literature. It's just smut that women like to jerk off to because they have nothing good to read. Because they don't have any real literature to read. And they are too busy being in their fantasy world to actually want to improve themselves.
first book that I would like to introduce you to is called Morning Glory Milking Farm.
Hell no.
And it's not a normal milking farm like with cows. What it is it's big, bulky minotaurs, and it's a special type of milking.
See, honey, she's his stepsister, and she got stuck in the washing machine again. Women on TikTok are...
Yeah, imagine trying to do that. Imagine trying to get your girl to watch some porn or whatever, where about a stepsister being stuck in a dry washer again, or where the wife's friend also wants to get with the husband. See how well that goes over with her.
Openly, proudly talking about the porn they consume and getting mad at people when they make fun of it. I hereby ban men from reacting to romantasy on TikTok. Best-selling romantasy books like A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Fourth Wing contain descriptions of hot sex. I feel like that's common knowledge, if not their primary purposes. But in recent months, book talk has become full of men clutching their pearls while reacting to steamy scenes from these popular female-centered books. Obviously, this is all a massive performance. We live in the age of OnlyFans. The odds are that these men have seen actual porn that defies the laws of physics and God. Over 90% of...
So basically, they're mad that men are making fun of them. It's just like with the drizzle shit. When men started making fun of the sprinkle shit and started doing drizzle, women got pissed about that. Now women are pissed that men are making fun of their smut books. Ha!
Men between the ages 16 and 73 watch porn in any random month. There's statistically no way all of these guys are shocked by the sex itself. What they are gawking at is sex from the perspective of female desire. Scenes that...
Female desire that of being with an animal or an otherworldly creature being, that's the female desire. Women desire to have sex with beasts and vampires and gargoyles apparently, and cows. That's the female desire. Got it.
picked women coming first and frequently, and what they are surprised by is the women they know love these scenes. In one video, a guy declares, "Now I know why women enjoy book clubs and wine," but his astonishment in itself is astonishing. Like, what do you think adult women were into? Not having sex and drinking wine? Grow up. Imagine a group of men sitting around drinking wine, discussing the porn they watch. That is what you guys are.
Now, you see, gentlemen, welcome to the Porn Club. Today we're going to discuss DDLG. I don't know, whatever. And we're going to discuss this one scene. Get your wine ready. This was a good scene. We're going to rewatch it a couple of times. Dicks off, keep your hands off your dicks, Brad. I saw you last time. Stop that shit. Now, we're going to discuss how the etiquette and how beautifully mastered this scene was. Let's begin. Bruh.
Are essentially doing. It's just funny, okay? Like, it's funny. Are we really going to pretend that a story about a young woman getting a job milking mythical creatures to pay off her student debt is not funny? It's funny. If that makes me a sexist and misogynist, you got me.
Well, Shoe, I mean, apparently, according to that other girl, it's real literature compared to what her husband reading, which was like finance books and books that help him level up. You might have married the wrong one.
Like you are so different and above the other gooners is just, it's silly. I'm sorry, but you are no different than Joe Schmo jorking it to fat booty Latinas in Space 12. You're sitting there all high and mighty, one hand on the book, acting like you're so superior because you can perfectly envision a horse cock spinning 360 degrees in your mind. I'm not impressed. The scenes these men are reading, to many people, myself included, are insanely sexy. But purely in terms of the acts being described, they aren't all that lurid. And as many of the comments on these videos point out, there's much wilder stuff out there. For example, these men have clearly not yet discovered nodding, a popular term in romantasy right now that involves werewolves whose penises get so swollen after sex they have to stay inside their partners until the swelling subsides.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Holy shit. That's nasty.
Oh honey, that's not a popular trend in romantasy. That's just a thing real dogs do. Oh, you just don't get it. You don't know what nodding is. What are these women reading, bro? What happened to that like stupid fucking corny Hallmark thing, going home for Christmas to your hometown and falling in love with the cute farmer boy? What happened to that?
She met the farmer boy's farm animals and discovered that those have bigger penises that should not be touched by human women. However, women love to do things that they're not supposed to do.
Was to make fun of that. We truly did not know what we had until it was gone. Now women out here fantasizing about getting their asses clapped by demons and werewolves and goblins and ghouls. I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out and people were like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Women are crazy. 50 Shades of Grey looks like missionary sex through a bedsheet for the sole purpose of procreation compared to the shit the average woman on TikTok is reading.
Bro, 50 Shades of Grey is vanilla. No, 50 Shades of Grey is completely vanilla to whatever the fuck women are on Book Talk are into.
This Christian Grey was a human man and not a fucking dog. You fantasize about dating the quiet, shy, nerdy girl. You know, she's innocent, she's pure, she's not like those other girls, like going out clubbing and hooking up with random men.
Bro, not even that's real anymore. You can't even look for the nerdy, the nice, quiet, nerdy girls and expect them to be all innocent anymore, because they're not. Now they're doing fucking threesomes at the age of 16, 17, 18, 19, whatever. Like they're more fucked than the other girls. Now you look at a quiet, shy, nerdy girl, you can expect her to be freakier than what was that chick that did 1,000 guys in 24 hours? She's gonna be more freakier than her.
Men, no, she's at home.
It sucks.
Curled up by the fire in a blanket, reading a book. Except that book is about f***ing a half man, half bull. Let me let you in on a little secret. The quiet, nerdy girl is way more of a freak than the average hoe. Are you kidding me? It's not even close. The average hoe might have a body count of like 15 or so, but the quiet, nerdy girl is fantasizing about getting back shots from Cthulhu. That is at least 100 bodies. Now listen, there's nothing inherently wrong with fantasizing, okay? There's nothing wrong with role play. You know, fiction is fiction, right? You know, you're not actually going to bang your stepsister, right? These women are not actually going to bang a cow. Or at least I hope not.
No,
we all know
would.
there's a difference between fantasy and reality. Well, what happens when they try to bring fantasy into reality? Well, you get Sinners and Stardust.
What the fuck? Do you want your biggest dreams to become reality? Oh my god. Was that a character from a game? That's a character from a Souls game, isn't it? Dark Souls or something like that. I don't know which one.
What in the eyes wide shut is going on here? Sinners and Stardust was supposed to be a dark romance ball for romantasy authors and fans alike. So what's the big deal? Seems like a fun, sexy time, right? Maybe, if you're a woman. If you're a man, the night may have gone a little differently for you.
Bro, if you're a man, the moment you walked in, if you're a straight man, the moment you walked in, you knew you fucked up.
Alright y'all, it appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. A lot of you may know my good friend Animus. He's attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a musical artist. This past weekend he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So listen, he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him without consent?
No.
Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants or touch his dick? Hello? Do we think it's okay?
Bro, for some reason, women think it is okay to SA men, and it's not okay for the roles to be reversed in that situation. But a lot of women will even if a man tries to come out and say, "Hey, I was SA'd by a woman," women are gonna mock him and be like, "No, you weren't. You liked it. Shut up." Like, a man's not just a man's mental health and a man's ability to get SA'd by a woman is non-existent to women. Double standards for the loss.
To quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him and whose are whose? Do we think it's okay to send him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't do that and you know that shit is fiction, and then attempt to follow him when he tries to get away? And if that wasn't enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received notification that an air tag was tracking him, which...
Holy fuck. So they stalked him, tried to follow him. They wouldn't let him get away. They tried to follow him as he got away. And then they air tagged his shit. What if they never found that air tag? Some random ass bitch would have showed up at his house trying to rape him, probably. This type of shit is not okay, but if a man says, "Hey, this type of shit happened to me," women will laugh and say, "No, it didn't. You liked it. Shut up." What the? Imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if the roles were reversed.
Showed on his person all the way to his hotel room. They molested this guy until he passed out from anxiety. And then they put a f***ing tracker on him in order to stalk him back to his hotel. This poor guy dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books at this romantasy convention full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves. Or in this case, throwing a wolf into a pit of roast beef. I remember years ago...
I get it. You.
There was this thing called cosplay is not consent. Basically, it was a campaign to bring attention to the fact that people at conventions would often come up to women dressed in sexy costumes and just grope and grab them without their consent. Yeah, apparently we have to bring that back because these women did not get the memo. I've been a furry for over a decade and attended a lot of fur cons. Sure, sometimes weird shit happens, but honestly, I can't believe the dark romance crowd is out here acting like this. Like, me and my buddies in our fursuits are more respecting of consent and bodily autonomy.
Bro, if the furries are saying that they're more respectful than the way these women act, that's saying something. Because in my opinion, the furries were always like the bottom of the barrel degeneracy. No offense to the furries. But now, I see there is a new low, and it's women that like to read smut.
Get your shit together, y'all. When the furries are calling you out for being freaks, you need to reflect. Something has gone horribly wrong. Not only were the men at this book talk convention assaulted, but women were also assaulted by women. Multiple women, including a performer, reported being assaulted there as well. Even an author there said she was groped and dragged away from her friends and said no matter how many times she said no, quote, "My words did nothing." May I remind you, this is a book convention, okay?
And women will still find a way to blame men for everything. Just like that other one that said that the book is about something capitalism and masculine toxicity. Women will find a way to blame men for the actions of the women.
Okay, for books, literal BDSM clubs are more respectful than this. There needs to be more studies on how this stuff affects women's brains, because clearly some are unable to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Ivy Lipton, a doctoral candidate in human sexuality, actually wrote about this for EV Magazine. I don't know what a doctoral candidate in human sexuality is, but she's hot, so I trust her. Your brain on orgasms isn't neutral.
I was thinking that too. I was like, she's hot. Don't trust her. She says she's hot, so she trusts her. I don't know. I disagree with that one. She's hot. Probably shouldn't trust her.
Dopamine release during climax is a powerful conditioning agent. What you repeatedly fantasize about becomes necessary for arousal. If your erotic imagination centers around abuse, monstrous violence, and submission to non-human entities, your brain is reprogramming itself to crave just that. It's not empowerment, it's neuroplasticity at its darkest. Scientists, psychologists, and the general public often state that men are visual and women are emotional. When it comes to sex, men can be turned on instantly by a sexual image to spite their mood, and women need to be turned on emotionally to get in the mood. So it stands to reason that porn for men is visual and porn for women is in the mind. I'm not equating porn to smut novels, because one is a video of two people actually having real sex, and the other is, well, just words on paper. I am, however, talking about the effect on the consumer. We know watching porn is bad for the brain. That's been proven and only rejected by gooners who don't want to give it up. But is reading smut bad? You might say, duh, that's the whole point. Okay, fair enough. So let me rephrase. Is reading smut harmful? Should we shame people for things that are wrong, immoral, or harmful? In my line of work, I've been told many times that shame has no place in sex. But if I use my brain for 2 seconds, it's clear that line of thinking is nonsense. Incest should be shamed, bestiality should be shamed, pedophilia should be shamed. I'm not equating monster smut with these things, but there are 50 shades of gray, so to speak, along the spectrum of harmful. Conditioning your brain and body to associate pleasure with monsters, slavery, or sexual violence is not healthy. Basically, they're harmful. Like, women are cooked. They are frying their brains with this stuff. It's a pipeline, right? It's like the infamous evil alt-right pipeline. You know, you start watching Shoe0nHead, owning the feminists in 2015, and then in 2025, you're hailing Hitler, right? You know, the alt-right pipeline. And this one's like, you're reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, and the next thing you know, you're Mrs. Hands, right? Just say no.
Mrs. Hands?
Just say no to monster porn. But why is monster smut so popular with women in particular? Like, you rarely see the opposite, and when you do, it's just like a girl with cat ears and fangs, or like a 10-foot-tall dommy-mommy vampire with giant titties. Meanwhile, women are like, I want to the pollution monster from Fern Gully. So people on Reddit asked this very question. Let's see the responses. Why do you guys like monster romances? Asking for a friend. Several reasons. 1, human men are quite often terrible. Romance books with human men are already partly fantasy, but monsters just takes the fantasy bit further. 2, it's sort of human nature to imagine relationships with paranormal beings and creatures. We've been doing it in literature and art for centuries. It's just gotten a lot more graphic now, lol. 3, unique body forms / parts and so many different kinds of dicks. Scary.
Okay, yeah. Let me make sure I say this. Yes, men can be into things like cat girls and shit like that. That is a thing. That is a thing. But they don't take it to the extreme as women do with their monster smut. Men will find like cat girls, you know, pleasing to the eye or something like that, and they'll be secretly like, man, when gene splicing comes in, yeah. But women, as you've already seen, they will attack a person in cosplay, like completely attack them until that person passes out, and then put an air tag on him. They could follow him back to his house, to his hotel. Like, obviously, women go far more into that shit and are far more willing to be harmful to others in that scene than men are. Like, men seems like they keep it to themselves, and like maybe they'll keep it to their friends and talk about it, but women will go farther, will a lot farther in dangerous scenarios.
Very mean, terrifying creature is sweet to her, kind, takes care of her, protects her, works hard to be gentle, etc. Maximal escapism, minimal association to real-life assholes, the patriarchy, misogyny, and oppression of women, etc., etc.
Gotta find a way to blame men somehow, some way.
Because the monsters are less dangerous than dating actual men. As a fat woman of color, modern, contemporary, and even fantasy romances are hard to click to because they are almost always about thin white women and just too realistic. And romance in real life is not always attainable for fat women/women of color.
Imagine being what women call what people call a short king. Imagine their troubles trying to get with women instead. You can't change your height, but you can change your weight. And just if you're asking, I'm 5'10", so I guess I still would technically be a short king because I'm not over 6 feet.
In monster alien romance, though, my size doesn't matter, and it's easier to get into that headspace and enjoy it. I'm sick of the men on Earth and looking for some variety. Non-humans haven't betrayed and hurt me, so they feel like a safe haven, if that makes sense.
What?
Plus the unusual dick. Monsters have big, fun-shaped cocks. I love some bizarre peen. Unique genitalia.
What the fuck?
I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. A lot of women's smut, especially monster smut, is about submission, domination, forced breeding, non-consensual consent. The women are like conquered and taken and overpowered by these monsters. And I think many of these women are reading these books containing monsters and not men because masculinity and dominance in men has been completely demonized in modern society. But the truth is, many women still crave it. You see, the monsters...
It's okay for the monsters to do it, but if a man tries it, even if the man is attractive to them and they like the man, then it's barely okay.
In these stories have those like dominant masculine traits that women like so much, but they're not human men. They have all these traits women desire without the problematic baggage human men bring, without being the men they hate or have been told to hate. It is the perfect guilt-free slop. But
so you could also say that since it's monstrous people and there's only fantasy, that there's no harm in it. But let's pretend these monsters were real and actually did the things that they did in those books. Women would still find a way to blame human men and say that it's okay for the monster men to do it.
But they don't just want a wild dominant man. They want to tame a wild dominant man. Similar to when a man sees an art hoe with a nose ring, you can save her from her daddy.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice she randomly put in the fucking septum piercing thing.
Issues. You can do it. It definitely won't backfire and ruin your life. Go for it. Go talk to her. With many women, there's this desire for like danger and aggression, but also the desire to tame that danger and aggression. The desire to be that special woman who can melt his heart. You see, my dragon boyfriend could rip me to shreds and kill me instantly, but he won't because he's nice and he loves me. But honestly,
Edward, was Edward Elric? No, that's Fullmetal Alchemist. The guy from Twilight. I'm pretty sure like that's part of the fantasy of whatever her name was with being with a vampire.
At the end of the day, just like the video I made about the anime girl in a wheelchair where men were saying, this is the average male fantasy, and a bunch of women were like, you wanna rape a disabled girl? When in reality, it was just a distilled manifestation of the average male fantasy, which is to protect and provide for a sweet woman and save her. This is like basically the flip of that, right? This is just the distilled manifestation of the female fantasy. Men are seeing this and they're saying, what do you mean you want to milk a minotaur? When in reality, it's just to have a big, strong protector and provider swoop you up and save you. And like I said in that video, they want
to be raped by a minotaur.
basically both the same fantasy. This is a tale as old as time, the princess being saved from the dragon by a knight in shining armor, whether the dragon be a wheelchair or student loans, you know? But in this case, the woman is being f***ed by the dragon, and the knight sits in the corner and watches or something, I don't know. Maybe it's not that deep. There are some hungers better starved than fed. And maybe as women, for the sake of society, we have to starve our hunger for Minotaur p***ness. Yeah, that's the moral of this video.
that's...
So what do you guys think? What is your here?
Why do I feel like she had this in the closet just waiting to be used? Careful, Shoe. You might get some lesbians all riled up like that. Be careful. They might try to hunt you down and then air tag you and follow you home.
Why is the monster romance genre so popular with women in particular? And who is your weirdest hear me out? Be honest. I don't want to hear no Lola Bunny, okay? You all know mine already.
What the fuck?
It's not that he's a fish, okay? He has an energy, okay? He has a vibe.
Really?
You know what, never mind. And I will see you guys again really soon with a new video. Bye!
Okay. Wow, that was something else. I'm gonna need some alcohol for that one. Yeah, I'm gonna need to day drink. I'm definitely gonna need to day drink for that. Okay, well, I've shared my thoughts on the video. Why don't you guys share your thoughts with me in the comments below? And I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I feel like I've been like I need to go wash my eyes out with bleach. Just take my brain out of its head, kind of dip it in some bleach, give it a good scrubbing, get all that out of my my noggin. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, let me know what you think, and don't forget to check out Shoe0nHead's channel. Links will be in the description below. And yeah, I think I'm disturbed. Anyway, that's it. Peace and much love to you. And stay away from Minotaur dicks. Weirdos.